All right, so everyone ready to like dive into this whole Captain America thing?
Oh, yeah, this is a big one. I mean, anytime Cap is involved, people tend to have strong opinions.
Yeah, especially now that Brave New World is like right around the corner and everybody's talking about it online.
Yeah, and we found this article that really gets into the weeds on this whole back and forth between conservative pundits and Marvel fans.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, and it all comes down to this one statement that Anthony Mackie made about what Captain America represents, or I guess more specifically, what he doesn't represent.
Exactly, and that's what we want to get into today. Like, what is it about this particular controversy that has people so riled up?
Right. So this article basically starts out by quoting Mackie, saying that Captain America embodies all this good stuff, right? Like honor and integrity, trustworthiness, dependability.
Yeah, like all those classic Captain America qualities.
Yeah, exactly. But then Mackie goes on to say that he doesn't think the term America itself should be one of those representations. And like that's where things get interesting.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's like throwing a grenade right into the middle of the whole debate about what it means to be patriotic.
Right. And that's exactly what we're seeing play out online. Like conservative commentators are going off about it.
Yeah, you've got figures like Dan Bongino who are straight up calling for boycott, saying the movie is woke garbage. And I
Yeah.
mean, he's not pulling any punches.
Wow. Yeah. And it's not just him. You like the article also mentions Todd Erzin. I think he's a radio host.
Yeah. He's pretty outspoken. And he even made this comparison to Selena Gomez, saying that Mackie should basically be mocked for his stance, which is kind of harsh.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. And
Yeah.
then you've got Terry Schilling, the president of the American Principles Project, and he actually said he wouldn't even take his kids to see the movie because of this whole thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can see how this has become way more than just a discussion about a superhero movie.
Totally.
Yeah.
But on the other side of things, you've got all these Marvel fans who are pushing back hard against these criticisms.
Yeah, and their arguments are really interesting because they're not just blindly defending the franchise. They're actually getting into the deeper meaning of the character.
Yeah, like they're pointing out how Captain America has always stood for these ideals. Even when those ideals went against what the actual U.S. government was doing.
Right, like you've got those scenes in the previous movies where Captain America literally fights against the U.S. government because he believes they're in the wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, isn't that kind of a powerful statement in itself, like holding your own country accountable to its own ideals?
It definitely raises the question of what true patriotism actually looks like, right? Is it blind allegiance, or is it having the courage to call out injustice even when it's coming from your own side?
Yeah, I mean, that's a theme we see running through a lot of Captain America stories, that tension between patriotism and blind allegiance.
Exactly. He's constantly wrestling with his conscience, challenging authority when he needs to, and I think that resonates with people because we all face those kinds of dilemmas in our own lives.
Totally. And it's not just about that conflict either. Like some fans are even taking it a step further and arguing that Captain America actually represents what America should be like, striving towards those ideals rather than just representing the country as it is right now.
And that's a powerful idea, right? That Captain America is this symbol of hope, of the potential for positive change.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that resonates with audiences because, like, let's face it, we all want to believe in something bigger than ourselves, something worth fighting for.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole controversy so fascinating. You've got these two very different interpretations clashing head on.
Right. You've got some people seeing Mackie's comments as like un-American or whatever,
Yeah.
while others see them as like the truest form of patriotism.
Yeah, it really gets you thinking about what these symbols mean to us and how those meanings can be so different depending on who you ask.
So where do you think this whole debate goes from here? Like with the movie coming out soon, is it just going to get even more heat?
I mean, it's hard to say, but I think it'll be really interesting to see how the conversation evolves as we get closer to the release date and as people actually start seeing the film for themselves.
Yeah, because then it's not just about what Mackie said. It's about how those ideas actually play out on screen.
Exactly. And I think beyond all the controversy, this whole situation raises a really interesting question. Does a character like Captain America, who embodies these seemingly universal ideals, have to represent a specific nation?
Right. Like, can those ideals transcend borders? Can anyone anywhere be inspired by what Captain America stands for?
Exactly. And I think that's something worth thinking about, especially in today's world.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we wait for Brave New World, I think it's a good time to ask ourselves, what does Captain America represent to us personally?
Right.
What do we see when we look at that shield and that uniform?
Does he stand for America as it is or America as it could be? Or maybe even something even bigger than that?
Definitely something to ponder, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it a lot more in the coming weeks.
Oh yeah, this conversation is just getting started.
So until next time, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the Captain America controversy, and we'll see you all back here soon for more.
See ya.